Welcome to our virtual classroom. Join me for some fun learning. Hello, it's Miss Nicole of Legacy Lineage Online Learning. Thank you for joining me for story time. Well, this story time is another story time that is dedicated to St. Patrick's Day. If you go back and watch our first video, which is dedicated to my great-grandmother, Ethel the Great, who was born on St. Patrick's Day, I talk a little bit about St. Patrick's Day. And I point out that the colors for St. Patrick's Day, do you know what they are? I'll give you a hint. What color is my co-host over here? That's right, green. So green and gold. And if you can see, these are clovers or shamrocks. They're all green and gold because green and gold and orange are the colors for St. Patrick's Day. Green and orange and white are the colors of the Irish flag. And St. Patrick's Day is a holiday that's really about St. Patrick, who was from Ireland and an Irish man. So if you notice, I am reading Pete the Cat and the Great Leprechaun Chase. I will tell you something though. Leprechauns are kind of like unicorns and fairies and mermaids. They really exist in our imagination. Okay, but we'll talk about that more. I want to talk more about St. Patrick's Day. And so I showed you in the last video the clever clover that we make out of a clover. And I was pointing out that the sides of a clover, if you notice, look like hearts. And if you follow Legacy Lineage on Instagram, you will see a bunch of fun St. Patrick's Day activities. But this is Clever Clover. This is Clever Clover. And he's green, and orange, and white to represent the Ireland flag. Okay? And we are reading Pete the Cat and the Great Leprechaun Chase. So I want to talk a little bit more about Ireland before I jump into the book. There were two more things I wanted to tell you. So I wanted to tell you, if you notice during story time today, Miss Nicole has a green manicure, right? Yeah, because I'm wearing colors that represent the holiday, St. Patrick's Day. But also I want to show you, and I'm going to try to bring it close, I want to show you my ring. Okay, this ring is called the claddagh. Can you say that? Claddagh. I wear my claddagh all the time. It is in honor of my great-grandma who was born on St. Patrick's Day. But a claddagh has a very, very special meaning, and it's all about loyalty, love, and friendship. And it's everything that is represented between my great-grandma and I. So I wear a claddagh to represent my grandma. And this time I'm wearing a claddagh on green fingernails for St. Patrick's Day. And look, some of them even have like glitter on them, right? Fun. Anyways, let's get into reading all about Pete the Cat and the Great Leprechaun Chase. And before we do that again, I'm going to stop because I almost forgot to play you music. So there's certain type of music that also comes from Ireland, and it's called Celtic music, if I'm saying it right. It looks like the word Celtic, like the basketball team, which used to be my favorite basketball team back when Paul Pierce, KG, Rajon Rondo, who else? Big Baby Davis, and Ray Allen. Those are my favorite five on the Boston Celtics. Well, Celtic or Celtic music, that name comes from Ireland and is related with the Irish heritage. So I'm going to play you a little sample of some Celtic music. Here we go. Can you clap with me? How do you think you dance to this type of music? Do you think you dance fast or slow? Let's listen some more. I think you're right. Fast, let's go. That's fun. So that's an example of Celtic music. So again, I taught you that the colors for St. Patrick's Day are green and gold. The colors of the flag of Ireland are green, orange, and white. And I let you hear a little Celtic music and see a claddagh ring, which represents love, loyalty, and friendship. So now let's get into Pete the Cat. And we talked a little bit about a leprechaun just kind of being that place that he lives in, that place of imagination. But we'll talk more about that as we go on with the story. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day, and Peter's teacher, Mr. G, is teaching about leprechauns. The only time you can catch one is on St. Patrick's Day. A leprechaun will bring you good luck, says Mr. G. Now, everyone in the class wants a leprechaun. Pete gets a great idea. He will open a leprechaun catching business. But as Miss Nicole explained, leprechauns live in the world of your imagination. So how will Pete the Cat catch a leprechaun if that's something that you keep up here? Let's learn more. St. Patrick's Day comes and Pete gathers some supplies. He hangs a sign above his stand. This will be easy, Pete thinks, and his sign reads, Pete's Lucky Leprechaun Catchers. Squirrel is Pete's first customer. I want a leprechaun, Squirrel says. I need good luck for my test. Cool, I'm on it, says Pete. Pete has a plan. He will follow a rainbow until he finds a leprechaun. Now, rainbows are real. We see them in the sky after a nice rain. Finally, Pete arrives at the end of a rainbow and finds Clover, the leprechaun, next to a pot of gold. Pete sneaks up behind Clover. Let's see what's going to happen. So Pete is going to the end of the rainbow to find something imaginary because we've already said that. Rainbows, they're real. But leprechauns, they live in your what? Imagination. Let's see, is he going to get it? He has his net. What do you think? You think he's going to catch him? Let's see if you're right. But Clover is too fast. Did you think you could catch me so easily, he asked. Once there was a cat named Pete who thought nabbing some luck would be neat. Then he happened upon a smart leprechaun who he'll find quite tricky to beat. Clover disappears in a puff of green smoke, and Pete will need a new plan. So when Clover is talking, he is talking in a rhyme that is famous in Ireland, and I think they're called limericks, like the way that they talk, the way that they say their rhymes. And we will hear him talk again and do another limerick in this story. That afternoon, Gus visits Pete's Lucky Leprechaun Catchers. I want a leprechaun, Gus says. I need good luck for my band recital. Pete says, I'll see what I can do. Pete plans to lure Clover out with his music. He plays a jaunty song on his guitar. Maybe he plays a song that sounds like this. Because if Pete's smart, he knows that that's the kind of Celtic music that a leprechaun likes. And before long, Clover dances over to Pete, so it works. Just a little closer, Pete thinks. Suddenly, Clover starts spinning around Pete, round and round and round, and Clover gets faster and faster and faster. And what color is the string that Clover is holding? Right, orange, one of the colors from the flag of Ireland. Oh no, Clover wraps Pete with a rope. Let's see the limerick that Clover is going to say now. Pete has finally met his match, a crafty leprechaun he just can't catch. He'll never win, he better give in or find something else to snatch. Look at him all wrapped up with his guitar and everything in the yellow rope. I'm sorry, the orange rope. The orange rope. Let's see what happens. That evening, Callie visits Pete's lucky leprechaun catchers. I want a leprechaun, Callie says. I need good luck for my tennis match. Says Pete. St. Patrick's Day is almost over. There isn't much time left to catch a leprechaun, but Pete won't give up yet. So maybe he has another plan, but his first plan didn't work and his second plan didn't work. Let's see. Pete sets a trap for Clover. Before long, Clover tiptoes up to the trap and sniffs the air. I love candy, he whispered, peeking under the box. Pete waits very quietly. Crash! Pete rushes over and checks underneath the trap. Do you think he got him? But it was empty. Clover skips away, and as he's skipping away, he's telling another limerick. Here we go. Pete has tried many a plot, but still I haven't been caught. Isn't it dandy? I even got candy while Pete ends up with a squat. Here we go. I'm going to read that one again. Pete has tried many a plot, but still I haven't been caught. And isn't it dandy? I even got candy while Pete ends up with squat. Pete has an idea. He follows the trail of spilled candy to Clover's secret hideout. Do you like candy? If you like candy, what is your favorite candy? If you like candy, what is your favorite? Do you prefer lollipops? Let's see. Do you prefer lollipops or candy canes or something else like chocolate? Right now, Miss Nicole's favorite candy is Sour Patch Kids watermelons. Pete sneaks up behind Clover. Swoosh! Pete finally catches Clover. Oh, let's see what happens. Why do you want me? Clover asks. I'm helping my friends who need some extra luck, Pete says. Luck doesn't come from having a leprechaun, says Clover, and you and your friends have each other. That already makes you as lucky as you can be. Could Clover be right? Pete is one very lucky cat. A lucky cat doesn't need a lucky leprechaun, and he lets Clover go. So Pete is basically understanding that he doesn't need the leprechaun. He just needs to believe in himself and believe in his friends. And that's why I think that that's something that's better than a leprechaun. Because remember, leprechauns live in your imagination. But you know what else needs to live in your imagination and in your mind? Belief. Belief is real. If you believe in yourself, there's nothing you can't accomplish. If you work and you try hard and you have people around you, people that love and trust can be there, just like the claddagh ring, you can accomplish anything. So he lets him go. And let's see how belief is going to help Pete the cat and his friends. Pete decides he will be the good luck his friends need by helping them out himself. Pete helps Squirrel study for his test. Squirrel aces his test. Pete helps Gus rehearse for the recital. Gus rocks it out. Pete helps Callie practice for her match. Callie wins. Clover magically appears. Good job, Pete, says Clover. I have one more poem for you. One more limerick. And let's see what that limerick is going to be about. While Clover played hide and seek, Pete learned something unique. That luck that you make beats luck that you take any old day of the week. And Miss Nicole says that if you make your own luck, you do so by believing in yourself. So you make your own luck by believing in yourself. The end. And as I like to remind you guys all the time, that you make your own luck by believing in yourself, but more importantly, you are the you and unique. And if you put your mind to it and work really hard at it, you can achieve all the things that Pete's friends wanted to achieve. So when I was a little girl, my person was my great grandma. She was the adult that I knew I could trust and who loved me. And I also had my mom and my great grandma, and I had a bunch of aunts and a bunch of uncles. And because of that, my thing was dancing. So I would get up and my great grandma would make sure I had my pancakes, and I would get off to dance lessons, and we would practice and practice. And I loved dance in school. And it's not easy to learn ballet and tap and jazz and to remember the routines, but my family, my loved ones believed in me, and I believed in myself. And guess what? I venture to say I'm a pretty good dancer. So that has been our St. Patrick's Day story time, all about Pete the cat and the great leprechaun chase. We've learned a little about Ireland and about St. Patrick's Day, but if you want to learn more, you can ask a loved one or a trusted adult to teach you a little bit more about St. Patrick's Day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. See you next time. And remember, you are the you and unique.